prosedur parking. Guna mendukung referensi pembelajaran terhadap mahasiswa, Polkesma memiliki ruang perpustakaan yang cukup lengkap. Ruangan ini juga dilengkapi perangkat digital guna memudahkan mahasiswa dalam melakukan pendaftaran maupun pencarian buku. Di bidang pembelajaran, Polkesma telah menerapkan strategi pembelajaran yang efektif dan menarik. Didukung dengan kurikulum pendidikan tinggi, vokasi Polkesma menerapkan kurikulum sistem, di mana sejumlah 70% kegiatan praktikum, praktik klinik dan magang, dan 30% pembelajaran teori. Implementasi pembelajaran inovatif dengan konsep blended learning yang menyenangkan dan memudahkan. Tak hanya itu, penerapan konsep internet-based test dalam ujian dan pembelajaran juga dilakukan dengan konsep e-learning.
Kami sebagai mahasiswa enjoy dengan sistem pembelajaran yang ada di kampus kami. Jadi kami lebih bisa mengaplikasikan teori yang diberikan oleh dosen kami dan kami dapat memahaminya secara lebih cepat.
Polkesma memiliki 220 tenaga pengajar dengan kualifikasi magister dan doktoral dari berbagai disiplin ilmu yang akan membentuk skill profesional dan karakter bagi para mahasiswa. Polkesma telah terbukti melahirkan lulusan yang bekerja di institusi kesehatan di dalam negeri, bahkan luar negeri. Dari semua perubahan yang telah dilakukan mendapat respon positif dari mahasiswa maupun masyarakat luas. Hal ini bisa diukur dari indeks kepuasan masyarakat yang menunjukkan masuk kategori baik. Di masa pandemi COVID-19, Polkesma Malang juga turut berkontribusi mengkampanyekan protokol kesehatan bagi pengajar, mahasiswa, maupun masyarakat umum. Untuk memberikan perlindungan terhadap pegawai maupun mahasiswa, pemberlakuan memakai masker, mengukur suhu, serta mencuci tangan menjadi hal wajib dilakukan saat memasuki area kampus. Selain itu, selama pandemi, dari 10.000 dosis vaksin dilakukan di kampus oleh tenaga kesehatan dari Polkesma. Dari peningkatan kinerja dan perubahan positif yang dilakukan oleh manajemen, telah mengantarkan Polkesma meraih predikat wilayah bebas dari korupsi atau WBK di lingkungan Kementerian Kesehatan RI. Peningkatan pelayanan serta beragam inovasi yang telah diciptakan akan bermuara pada pelayanan prima yang berujung kecepatan, kemudahan, dan kenyamanan bagi masyarakat umum, mahasiswa, maupun internal pegawai.
Kita bersama, kita sejiwa, satu langkah, satu rasa untuk Polres tercinta, membangun semangat untuk majukan negeri kita, buktikan pada dunia kita memanglah berbeda.
Dalam bidang layanan COE Polkesma, Polkesma melayani berbagai macam jenis analisa. Di antaranya adalah analisa proksimat, meliputi analisa kadar air, kadar protein, dan kadar lemak. Selain itu, juga melayani analisa antioksidan serta vitamin C. COE Polkesma juga melayani penelitian hewan coba atau penelitian yang melibatkan tikus putih dalam penelitian pemanfaatan bahan lokal. COE Polkesma juga melayani analisa mikrobiologi dengan menganalisa total plate count atau TPC. Dalam tahun ke depan, COE Polkesma akan menyediakan produk minuman sehat dari hasil penelitian, misalnya jus campuran yang dapat menurunkan protein calon sel kanker, serta jus lain seperti jus seledri timun dan jus buah naga timun. Selain itu, COE Polkesma akan menyediakan es krim dan teh sehat dari tanaman pokak yang dapat menurunkan AFP atau alpha-fetoprotein sebagai indikasi anti kanker. COE Polkesma juga menyediakan pelatihan dalam bidang bakery sebagai bekal wahana melatih kewirausahaan untuk mahasiswa dan juga masyarakat umum.
Bu Nurul, silakan bisa dimulai.
Monggo dimulai.
Baik, silakan dimulai saatnya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the international webinar of Nutrition Department, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aprilia Sri Nurhadi. I'm one of the students of Dietitian Professional Education Study Program Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. It is such a wonderful and precious for me to be your master of ceremony in this beautiful morning, 24th November 2021. In this international webinar Nutrition Department, Dietitian Professional Education Study Program Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, with the theme of Community Nutrition Care and Nutrition Therapy in Overcoming Malnutrition, specifically in stunting through the use of local food. First of all, let us praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessings and mercy, we can all join here together today in healthy condition. In this beautiful moment, I would like also to welcome Professor Leila Sagdalan Afrika R&D, who will be the main speaker for our event today. The Honorable Mr. Budi Susatya, SKP MKes, the Director of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, Mr. Tapriyadi, SKM MPD, the Head of the Department of Nutrition, Dr. T. Doktoranda Nurul Hakimah, SSG MKes, the Head of the Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, Mrs. Eka Wulandari, SPD MPD, as the moderator in this event, and all lecturers and all participants. First of all, allow me to read the agenda for the event today. First, we have number 1, opening. Number 2, program report. Number 3, welcome speech. Number 4, singing the national anthem Indonesia Raya, hymn of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, and March of Nutrition. Number 5, prayer. Number 6, material presentation. Number 7, discussion. Number 8, certificate. And for the last photo session, Mr. Budi, who will also officially open this event. Mr. Budi, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning. The Honorable Head of Nutrition Department, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, Mr. Tapriyadi, Head of Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, Ibu Dr. Nurul Hakimah, and the distinguished speaker, Prof. Leila Afrika R&D from Los Baños, University of Philippines, all lecturer, participant, and committee. Let's extend our greatest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for all of His blessing to all of us today. Our great appreciation also goes to the speaker, all webinar participants, and the committee organizing this event. The International Webinar of Nutrition Department, Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, held today, the 24th of November 2021. As we all know, the international webinar today is held by the Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, Nutrition Department, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, as one of the 9 new Dietitian Professional Education Study Program in Indonesia, in accordance with its vision to develop the dietary formula for nutritional therapies specifically for stunting problem. As an academic society, the nutrition department has the obligation to support the government effort to improve the nutritional status of our people, especially when it is dealing with a stunting problem, which is still become a problem in Indonesia. So that is the reasoning behind the formulation of this vision. Dear participants, in line with the vision, today's webinar will discuss the topic of community nutrition, care and nutrition therapy in overcoming malnutrition, specifically in stunting, through the use of local food. Based on the Global Nutrition Report of 2018, Indonesia got 108 ranked among 132 countries in terms of the stunting prevalence. Meanwhile, in 22, on the survey by Indonesian toddler, on the other hand, our government has set a target of decreasing the national stunting rate to 40%. So, a real hard work must be conducted to reach this target, and all responsible parties must work hand in hand to achieve this goal. In order to make this dream come true, we are, as one of the head communities, must give our full support and contribution for this to be realized. Today, webinar is one of the way to build our part towards the goal. This event is attended by various participants who consist of students of dietitian, nutritionists, head observers, head educator from all over place and areas. It can be accessed through Zoom and YouTube platforms, so it is believed that it can reach a massive number of people, so that it is expected to also have a positive, massive impact throughout a bigger number of society. By doing so, we hope this webinar will be able to give its best contribution for reducing nutritional problem in Indonesia, and in the end will play its role in reaching the government's target for reducing the number of stunting in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we would like to express our gratitude to Professor Lela Sagdalan Afrika RND, who will share her expertise and experiences today on stunting therapy through the use of local food. The information and knowledge that you will share today will surely bring good benefits for our community. Thanks a lot, ma'am. We do hope that we will have more collaboration in the future to create a better future for our better world. As by reciting Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, this webinar is officially open, and please enjoy the webinar. Thank you. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magadang, Bo.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for opening this event, sir. Moving on to the following agenda is the program report by Dr. Randa Nurul Hakimah, SSD MKes. Mrs. Nurul, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Aprilia, for the time and screen given to me. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, best regards, healthy, safe, and nutritious greeting. The Honorable Director of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, Mr. Budi Susatya, SPP, MKep, Profesor Laila Sakdalan, Afrika R&D, Head of Nutrition Department Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, Mr. Patya.
Okay, Mrs. Nurul.
Suaranya hilang, Bu Nurul.
I think there's a problem with connection.
I'm sorry. Error signer error. I come on.
Okay.
Okay. And other Poltekkes throughout Indonesia, as well as the audience nutrition and health observers, especially those who are interested into stunting matter. Thank you for being here with us right now in this wonderful operation. First, please allow me to deliver the report of our program, the international webinar held today on Wednesday, November 24, 2021, organized by the Dietitian Professional Education Study Program Nutrition Department, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, as one of the 9 new Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, with its vision to develop the dietary formulas for nutritional therapy, especially for stunting problems with
Okay, Bu Nurul. Hello, Mrs. Nurul.
Mrs. Nurul out of the program, our program.
Okay, we will waiting for Mrs. Nurul join the program.
Okay, Miss Aprilia, sorry.
Yes.
Error signer and come on. Yes.
Monggo.
First, please allow me to deliver the report of our program, the international webinar held today on Wednesday, November 24, 2021, organized by the Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, Nutrition Department, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, as one of the 9 new dietitian professional education study programs in Indonesia with its vision to develop the dietary formulas for nutritional therapy, especially for stunting problems, which is based on the Global Nutrition Report of 2018. Indonesia got 108, ranked among 132 countries in terms of the stunting prevalence. Although the national stunting rate had decreased from 37.2% in 2013 to 20.8% in 2018, and based on the Indonesian Toddler Nutrition Status Survey (SSDBI) in 2019, this figure had also decreased to 27.7%. However, through the National Midterm Development Plan (RPGMN) 2020 to 2024, our government has set a target for the national stunting rate to decrease to 14%. Of course, it will take a lot of efforts to achieve this target. This international webinar activity is one of the activities aimed to improving the academic atmosphere in Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, especially in the dietitian professional education study program in the nutrition department, in accordance with its vision, specifically the development of dietary formulas for nutrition therapy, in collaboration with one of the educators from the Institute of Human Nutrition and Food, College of Human Ecology, University of the Philippines at Los Baños, Laguna, that is Professor Laila Sakdalan Africa, R&D. This international webinar has reached the number of 600 participants and can be accessed through Zoom meeting and YouTube platform. Participants consist of practitioners and academics in the field of nutrition and health throughout Indonesia, and overseas participants consisting of students, nutritionists, health centers, hospitals, health polytechnics, and universities. I am as the coordinator of this activity. Thank you for Mr. Budi Susatya as KP MKEP as the Director of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, which are already the welcome speech to this activity. Finally, welcome to the international webinar activity today. Hopefully, this activity will give you lots of benefits, especially related to solving the stunting problem in Indonesia. And further collaboration will be established between Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang and the University of the Philippines to improve the three pillars of higher education in Indonesia, both in quantity and quality. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Next, I'll give the time and screen back to Ms. Aprilia as the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you for the program reports, Mrs. Nurul. The next program, that is Singing the Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang and must nutrient up rightly.
Indonesia
Okay. Next agenda is prayer, who will be led by Mr. Aziz Setiawan SKM. Mr. Aziz, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Miss Aprilia. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to lead prayer, this prayer with Islam religion. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa sallim wa radiyallahu tabaraka wa ta'ala an kulli sahabati Rasulillahi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ya Allah, our God, today we meet at the Nutrition Department International Webinar. Please give us goodness and blessing for this event. Ya Allah, our God, our Lord, forgive all our mistakes, the mistakes of our parents, the mistakes of our teachers, and the mistakes of our leader. Ya Allah, our Lord, give us useful knowledge today, good sustenance, and good things received. Allahumma gfir lana wa li ikhwanina alladhina sabaquna bil iman wa la taj'al fi qulubina ghillan lil ladzina amanu rabbana innaka ra'ufur rahim. Allahumma inna nas'aluka ilman nafi'an wa rizqan thayyiban wa amalan mutaqabbala. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaitana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you. Time for Mr. Aprilia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to Mr. Aziz who has led the prayer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before the main event starts, I will read the rules of international webinar in this morning. Miss. Okay. First, each participant are highly recommended to be present from the beginning until the end of the webinar. To get the certificates, you must fill in the attendance link and evaluation form. Number 2, please rename yourself with format name _ institution. For example, Veronica _ Poltekkes Malang. Number 3, every participant in the Zoom meeting are prohibited to unmute themselves during the speaker's presentation and can unmute when allowed. Number 4, questions can be typed via chat box under the format name _ institution _ question, or you can raise your hand to ask the question directly to the speaker. Number 5, information such as material links and others can be accessed via the chat box. And for the last, attendance link will be shared in the beginning of the event and the evaluation form will be shared at the end of the event. Okay, now we come into the main event, that is material presentation. The theme is Community Nutrition Care and Nutrition Therapy in Overcoming Malnutrition, specifically in stunting. Through the use of local food, which will be presented by Professor Leila Sakdalan Afrika RND and will be guided by Mrs. Eka Wulandari, SPD, MPD. First, let's introduce you to our moderator today, Mrs. Eka. Mrs. Eka is one of the lecturers of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Her educational background are Bachelor degree of English Education, Universitas Negeri Malang, and Magister of English Education Program in UNS Surakarta. Her research interests are English language, teaching, and English for specific purposes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome Mrs. Eka. Mrs. Eka, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss April. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all. Good morning, Ma'am Leila. How is life? So I hope everything is fine with you. Yeah. Okay, I will get back to you later, ma'am, after I introduce you to the audience. Okay, so everyone, welcome to the international webinar held by Dietitian Professional Education Study Program, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang today. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Eka Wulandari, and I will be your moderator today. I'm very happy to see you all here, and hopefully we will have a lively discussion about the very interesting topic that we are about to be presented. Ladies and gentlemen, our honorable speaker today is Professor Lila Sagdalan Africa R&D from Institute of Human Nutrition and Food, College of Human Ecology, University of the Philippines at Los Banos, Laguna, the Philippines. We see the curriculum vitae is a very long list, yeah, I think. But maybe I give you a highlight about her curriculum vitae to give you about the clear description about her. If we talk about her education, she is a Doctor of Philosophy, majoring on nutrition science, and she has also experience as a hospital consultant and also attended many regional trainings related to nutrition science. She has a bunch of publications, and the most current one is about local nutrition plans and program monitoring and evaluation protocols in the Philippines. She also already becomes some presenters in some conferences and also becoming the resource person in some workshops, seminars, trainings, locally and also abroad. Wow. Okay. And she also got some awards and scholarship in relation with her field of study. So I believe you can read by yourself all of them here. Yeah, it is such a wonderful achievement from her. At last, she also actively joins in some professional organizations, one of which is the Philippine Society of Nutrition and Dietetics. So I believe based on her curriculum vitae, she can share a lot of knowledge to us to improve the nutrition condition of our nutrition status in Indonesia. She can help us a lot on that. Okay, maybe that's the highlight of her curriculum vitae. And before the presentation starts, maybe I will tell you a little bit about how the discussion will go. So Ms. Leila will have about 2 hours for presenting. Okay, so it's about 10:30 to 11:30, ma'am. Sorry, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 9:30 to about 2 hours. Okay, just enjoy your time, ma'am.
Okay, I will.
And we will have the question and answer session. The discussion will be about 1 hour. And for the participants who want to ask questions, you can write down the question in the chat box. And also if you want to talk directly to our presenter, you can raise your hand and she will respond to you. Okay, so now let me give it the time to Ms. Leila. I give it over to you, ma'am. You can start your presentation.
Thank you, Ibu Eka, for the very kind, very kind introduction. So, selamat pagi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Laila Sagdalan Africa. Africa is my surname. It's for my husband, actually. When you get married in the Philippines, you
you usually change your surname to your husband's,
Yeah.
husband's surname. So that's the reason why my surname is Africa. I am I was an alumnus of Universitas Indonesia. I was in Indonesia since 2012, and I graduated in 2015. Through the CIMEO Rec Fund and through the DAAD scholarship. So that's the reason why I really love Indonesia. Indonesia is my second home, actually. And I really learned a lot when I stayed in Indonesia. So that's the reason why I'm very honored. I am very, very honored, such that our head or our leaders at Malang Polytechnic, Dr. Budi Susatya, Dr. Tapriyadi, Dr. Nurul Hakimah, and of course, Pak Dewo, who invited me to talk about this topic. Hi, Pak.
Nice. Hi.
Okay. So I was given the task to deliver a talk on community nutrition care and nutrition therapy in overcoming malnutrition, especially stunting, through the use of local food. Okay, so if I may add some background, I am from the Institute of Human Nutrition and Food, College of Human Ecology, University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Our institute is the biggest in the Philippines in terms of educating nutritionists, dietitians, and related courses in the Philippines. We are also the top performing school in nutrition and dietetics. And since 2008, we have this board examination for our BS, for the graduates of BS Nutrition. And since 2008, our passing mark is 100%. So that's the reason why we were awarded several times the top performing school in nutrition and dietetics in the Philippines. You may also want to study in UP Los Baños. Pat Dewo was one of our alumnus in UP Los Baños. So we have also a Master of Science in applied nutrition, and we also have PhD in nutrition, as well as the Master in Professional Studies in community in food and nutrition planning. This year, we will also offer Master in Clinical Nutrition. So it's a non-thesis degree which really cater on hospital dietetics. So maybe you want to that's my institution actually. University of the Philippines is the national university in the Philippines. Okay, so let me now share my presentation. So my outline is really I will discuss definition of terms. Why do I have to do this? Because I have a very long title. So we must have a leveling off, okay? You must also understand the context that I'm in for me to be able to discuss this topic, okay? So I'm going to define several terms. I will also discuss overcoming malnutrition, particularly stunting, through the nutrition care process, and how to overcome stunting through the use of local food. I will also share some of our outputs in our university, and of course, I will also conclude as a final message to all of you. Okay, so maybe I will not be very fast in my presentation because I usually talk so fast since I have 2 hours in the 2 hours of lecture, okay? So this will be the definition of terms. I will first define what do you mean by community, because we are talking about community nutrition and we're talking about the community. So if I'm going to define it, it's composed of individuals who are sharing common geographical locations, as well as beliefs, okay, and as well as culture, okay? And part of the culture is really on food, okay? Food and food intake, okay? And when you talk about community nutrition, okay, I will go to define community nutrition, malnutrition, stunting, nutrition care process, nutrition therapy. Some of these may be review for all of you, okay? But again, I'm going to contextualize my lecture by defining these terms. When you talk about community nutrition, I will define it two ways. I will define community nutrition in two ways. The first one is as a profession, and the next one is as a process. Okay, the first one, in terms of community, and the definition of community nutrition as a profession, according to NACWE, okay, in 2018, she defined community nutrition as a comprehensive. Actually, in some other terms, it's in some other book, it's also, they also add modern because particularly in the first world country, it's a comprehensive profession that includes but not limited to public health nutrition, dietetics and nutrition education, and medical nutrition therapy. So you may wonder, really, community nutrition has also it also include medical nutrition therapy. Is it right that medical nutrition therapy is usually handled where? At the hospital setting, right? We are doing medical nutrition therapy for our clients, for our patients in the hospital. How come we have such definition? Or how come medical nutrition therapy is included in the definition of community nutrition, particularly in the profession context? Okay, it is because, okay, when a clientele or when a patient, okay, is discharged from the hospital, okay, the nutrition care process, the intervention still will still be continued, even if that client or that patient is already at the household level. So that's the reason why there's a continuity from the hospital down to the community level, okay? When the patient is discharged, the intervention, the nutrition intervention must still be continued. So that's why medical nutrition therapy is included in community nutrition. How about the other definition of community nutrition? It is an area of nutrition that addresses the entire range of challenges, food and nutrition issues related to what? To the prevention of diseases and in the improvement of health and nutrition at different levels. We have at individual, families, and community level. Again, when we talk about community nutrition as a process, the process addresses, okay, we are providing activities to address the entire range of food and nutrition issues, to prevent diseases and to improve health and nutrition at different levels, particularly at individual, families, and communities. So that is the basic definition of community nutrition. Again, as I've mentioned, this is a review for all of you because I know some of you have been learning community nutrition for so many years. Okay? Now, let me also define malnutrition in the context that malnutrition is both, okay, it both include undernutrition and overnutrition, as well as a specific deficiency and imbalance. When we discuss the definition of malnutrition, this is the pathological state resulting from inadequacy or inadequate intake of energy and nutrients. At the same time, it's also a pathological state resulting from excessive intake. That's the reason why some individuals resulted in has this nutritional status or has or some individuals became overnourished because of excessive intake coupled with sedentary lifestyle or poor physical activity. Now, let's look at the worldwide under 5 prevalence of malnutrition. The recent in the 2020, the UNICEF and WHO provided this data. In the world, under 5 children, we have 149.2 million are stunted, 45.4 million are wasted, 38.9 million are overweight, particularly for under 5 children. So that's why malnutrition is really a crisis all over the world, because we have millions of children who are suffering from the different forms of malnutrition. In Indonesia, it's very good to know that from 38% in 2013, your stunting prevalence was reduced to 31% in 2018. I don't know if you have new data, if you have data in 2020 or 2019. I only got the data in 2018. And if I may share the prevalence of stunting in the Philippines, in 2013, our prevalence is 30%. In 2015, it became 33%, and in 2018, it decreased to 30%. Okay, so why do we have to really invest in nutrition? Why we have to solve the problem of malnutrition? It is because the financial cost of addressing malnutrition are rising based on the Global Nutrition Report. Okay, on the average, an additional 10.8 billion, okay, is needed annually between 2022 to 2030 to meet just 4 of the nutrition targets, particularly stunting, wasting, improvement in the breastfeeding practices, and anemia. But we still have other nutrition targets, such as what? The degenerative diseases. Okay, we have also problems, particularly we have diabetes mellitus, we have cardiovascular diseases. We also have, we need also to improve or to reduce the salt intake. So for just 4 nutrition targets, see, we need 10.8 billion. But if we reduce malnutrition, or if we prevent malnutrition, the total economic gains to society is what? It's 5.7 trillion a year by 2030. That's the reason why we have to work together to solve the problem of malnutrition. Because even if we have to spend to solve the problem, the gains, okay, is much more compared to how much you will spend. Okay, now let's define stunting. I think all of you knows the definition of this. So this is a linear growth failure or length or height of children under 5 below -2 SD, which could be moderate and severe, and -3 SD for severe from the median of the WHO child growth standards. And what are the implications of this? Being too short for one's age, what will happen, indicates undernutrition in a child who is not receiving enough nutrition to grow and develop to reach his or her full potential. Okay, so that is the essence why we have to solve the problem of stunting, because we want all children born in the world to be developed, to develop and to reach his or her full potential. In the Philippines, it's also quite difficult to solve the problem of malnutrition, particularly stunting. Why? Because they're saying that stunting is really part of our family. My grandparents are stunted. The mothers and fathers are also stunted. So why do we have to? It's expected that the child will be stunted, right? Because the genes came from the mother and the father. So sometimes, if that is the idea of our clientele, so what should we do? Sometimes it's quite difficult to really change the mindset of the population, and this mindset doesn't only lies at the household level. Most of our leaders, okay, has also that mindset. So if we are going to ask them to prevent malnutrition, particularly stunting, if their mindset is such that, do you think they will work towards improving or towards providing intervention to solve the problem of stunting. No, right? So that's the reason why it's really a never-ending process. We really have to do it double time, because the time is now to solve the problem of this malnutrition. Okay, another issue why we really need to invest in nutrition, particularly solving the problem of stunting, is its impact. Okay, first, on cognitive development, in education and productivity, okay, in health, okay, and intergenerational nutrition. At the same time, those who are stunted are more likely to become what? To become obese, and to become what? To become ill with degenerative diseases. Why is that so? I think you learned from your basic nutrition that if you are born in a deprived situation, okay, your body will adapt, right? Your body will really preserve, or will be very, very efficient on the way it manages your nutrients, on the way it absorbs nutrients, okay? Because you are at the starved state. You don't have enough food and nutrient, you don't have enough nutrients to be absorbed, such that the body will adapt, okay, in such a way that it will be efficient in its absorption of nutrients. But what will happen if after quite some time, okay, you happen to, okay, you were able to grow, and then later you become adult, and now you became an employee, and you have now a high-paying job. Now you want to eat what the food items that you don't want to eat, because in the past you were a little, your family is not it's your family may not have the capacity to purchase certain food items, and after you have graduated, or after you have finished you have your good career, you want to eat all the food that you want, because that is my experience. I grew up in a poor household, and I thought to myself, I will really work hard. I will really study hard, because someday I will have a very good job, okay? So that I will eat what I cannot eat when I was small.